Alright, what's up guys? Today I'm messing around with this Kubota l3400. It's seen some use. It's lived a pretty good hard life. Got only the best of seats here. You know, a little extra metal for your cushion. Missing a key thingamajigger. Whatever that was. There's a switch of sorts there, but I doubt if that was original. Knobs, levers, controllers everywhere, kind of messed up. I haven't really messed with anything except that I know the throttle moves. That's connected to the injection pump, so that's the kill lever. The big problem with this right now is in order to start it, you gotta be a scientist, or a mad scientist. I don't know what's up with this exactly. I pulled the jacket back before I started recording, but these wires all were hanging in front of the exhaust, so they burned off. However, long before that, somebody was in here and did some stuff, and I don't know what they did. Currently, this blue wire touched on that post right there. Is how you start it. So yeah, this is fun. I believe those two wires right there are the alternator exciter wires. Thankfully it's internally regulated. And then there's that. So I'm going to try and tidy this up so that they can use this thing, because right now, I mean, it takes a couple men and a boy to get it started. Just because it's you know, pain in the butt. Yeah, so let's see if I can't make it a little easier. It's still not going to be factory, but if I can maybe give them a good working charging system, because with these wires, chooch the way they are, that's not charging. So your battery will eventually go dead. No glow plugs right now, if it even had them, which it probably did. And then you're only going to get so many starts out of this thing, especially in the cold of winter, because it doesn't charge. So I'm going to see if I can't get that all fixed, or at least put back together so they can run it. So that way they have a tractor they can use this winter to, you know, try and keep the driveway kind of clear, and then next year they can use it around the property. So according to the owner, of course, right now I just have the battery on cables. The battery would normally sit there, but there's no ground cable right now, so that's something they need to fix. But you take this little nice blue wire and you reach it in the back and you do that. But as you can hear, it's not making quite enough contact. And so I gotta figure out something a little bit stronger. See if I can't get that thing to pop. What I want to do is I want to see, before I get super carried away, is does the alternator still produce voltage? If it does, then I'm going to make sure there's a fused connection between that and the battery. See if I can't either replace that or, you know, make it good again. And then yeah, I'm going to try and tidy some stuff up, like I said, make it usable, and we're going to go from there, I guess. Well, made the first parts run. That came from the backyard, or the supply store at my house. These, in this itty bitty little box, these come from down the street, unfortunately at a marine supply store, but I mean, that's a little expensive, but I mean, honestly, it's not all that bad, I suppose. I mean, that could be a dollar or so cheaper. That could be a dollar or so cheaper. The one that kind of got me was the switch, but I was thinking about doing a toggle switch and a push button. Well, they're usually about $8-10 a piece, and most of them were cheesy plastic. When you get into the brass or the better ones, they're like 15. So I figured, well, if I just put a key in, it'll be done. It'll be easy. Just turn the key and go. So hopefully, between all of this stuff here, I can get it to whirl over. So, a little update on this thing. I now have a starter solenoid. Still got to hook up a wire for signal. I have a fuse from the alternator. And maybe that's a bad idea, I don't know. But that's going to the ground, or to the positive lug here. It goes to the starter. Just thought it looked a little tidier up there. Not going to have all these wires run in front of the exhaust again. You know, where they were the last time. They got all chewed up. Working on right now, figuring out what does what. And I think I've got some stuff kind of figured out. Pulled off an old switch. I don't know if it was a good switch or a bad switch or whatever. But yeah, so I think I'm going to use this connector that goes into here. Take these, put them on the back of this. This is a marine style, or at least it was sold at a marine store. Hopefully it lasts. I'm going to get those things hooked up, and hopefully I can turn the key and she'll fire up. But I've never been quite so fortunate for everything to go exactly as planned, so we'll see what happens. All right, go for it. Not quite. Smells different now, though.
When it's dark, can I press on the gas to make it?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, we'll try that. Go for it. A little bit longer. Good. Come back here, you.
Will the motor warm up if you just keep on doing that?
Yeah, unfortunately, so will the starter. Yeah. All right, go ahead. Go ahead. Okay. Well, those are all bled. You know, I didn't check. Something fairly simple. All right, I didn't get much recording done today. Just trying just to get stuff done. But we got this thing running, and now it all runs with a key, push button glow plug. Dash lights up. Glow plugs actually function. Of course, I haven't verified in cold weather how it works. Not exactly what I would call factory, but this is your glow plug controller. Main battery wire. Still working on the alternator a little bit. Don't know the amperage it puts out, but it blew a 20 amp fuse. But that's okay. We're going to keep working on that. Tidied up the wiring down here a little bit. Still got that straggling. I don't know where that goes, but it doesn't have positive coming out of it, so I'm not scared of it. Unfortunately, we did find that it has water in the hydraulic system. So he's gonna have to do a little bit of flushing on that, but it runs, it moves under its own power, and the engine's still slightly warm. So a little more than slightly. So we shouldn't need the glow plugs. It should kick right off. But yeah, so here we see what happens, I guess. Battery bracket. Gave the engine a little walk. You can actually see now. You can hear that chattering. That's the water, unfortunately. Still has a manual shut off, but that's a far cry better than it was yesterday when I started messing with it. And then I'm going to have him do a video later, hopefully of a cold start, where he actually has to use the glow plugs to get it to start. This morning we gave it one itty bitty little tiny sniff of the starting fluid or nose candy, and did get it to start. It kicked right off from that, but I don't like having to use it if I don't have to. It smokes a little bit under load, but overall, I think he should be pretty happy with this. And I don't think we have any lights working, but I think that's partly connectors that are unconnected. Maybe we'll figure that out later, but for now he can actually use it. And it's no longer a yard ornament. Now, it's a garage ornament.
You know, I'm in the Stone Age. Hope it's not right full of water. Now, will the auto body do I give them that free?
Oh, not good.